Here at Sage Presence, we work a lot with business professionals who put themselves in scenarios where they get nervous. And there's a couple of things that I want to share around that. If you're somebody who puts yourself out there and gets nervous and you don't want to get nervous, the first thing that I want to ask you is, why not? What's wrong with nerves? The reason I ask this question is a lot of times your nerves don't show up like nerves. You very often decide that you look nervous even though you don't actually look nervous. We've worked with a lot of people who will get up in front of a room of their peers and they'll do a presentation, a practice presentation for a workshop that we're facilitating, and we'll ask them, so how did that feel? And they'll say, oh, I was really nervous. And then really often we'll ask the room, how did this person look while they were presenting? And a lot of times the whole room will say, didn't look nervous at all. They look great. And very, very often, the person on the receiving end of that feedback won't believe them. And it's because the experience of their nerves outweighs any input that their trusted team members will tell them. Very often, they'll just say, oh, no, they're just being nice because they're trying to be supportive here. I want you to start inviting yourself to ask people if you do indeed look nervous when you feel you are nervous, and be open to whatever they say. Sometimes they might say, not at all. Actually, you didn't look nervous at all. Be open to the possibility that you actually look much more confident than you actually think you do. Your internal voice can often be misleading. It can actually be your least helpful critic. Very often we're saying things to ourselves that isn't necessarily true and that points us in a different direction. So you want to get up in front of audiences and ask them, how did I look? How did I come across? Listen to the input. Second thing is they might say, yes, you did look nervous. Ask them, what am I doing? What are my tells? What looks nervous to you? And see if you can get them to be specific. Sometimes what one person's tell is not meaningful at all. If everybody or if a bunch of people are telling you the same thing, that's going to be the most useful feedback that you can hear. If a bunch of people say, yeah, I could hear it in your voice, or you couldn't stop moving, it really kind of looked like you needed to go to the bathroom through the whole presentation. If they talk about something consistent like that, then it's something to pay attention to. Ultimately, though, I want to throw out a possibility that your nerves aren't necessarily a problem. It could be something to work on, something to build upon, but maybe it's not necessarily a problem. I say this because in many circumstances, an audience doesn't mind nerves at all. If you're an engineer and you are vying to win a project, the decision makers aren't looking for a brilliant speaker. What they're looking for is somebody who knows what he or she is talking about and who is confident about the value of what they're talking about. You don't need to be worried about getting measured as a professional quality speaker. What you want to come across is someone who knows what he or she is talking about and someone who's excited to be there. So if you made the mistake of beating your nerves and just came across as super calm and really just kind of flat, you're actually lowering your chances of being selected because you sound like somebody who doesn't care that much. Being emotionally invested in a project is much more important than being really calm. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is if you are a team member and you are providing feedback to your other team members about their nervousness, ask yourself the question, how important is it that this person doesn't come across nervous? Ask yourself, do I really need to talk to this person about their nerves? Maybe the number one most important thing that I want to get you to consider is their nervousness distracting in some way? Does it truly detract from the quality of the experience, the quality of the audience's experience? And I say this exactly because of what I was saying a minute ago. Sometimes nervousness is better than flat because nervousness communicates caring, communicates some version of excitement. This really matters to me. So think about that question before you talk about someone else's nerves and either get them to make the mistake of canceling out their nerves or making their nerves worse by talking to them about it and asking them to reduce it, which can very often make it stronger and more of a problem. So whether you are a person who is potentially exhibiting nerves or a person who is providing feedback to somebody else about their nerves, ask yourself the question, is this really a problem? Do I need to do anything about this before you say or do anything about them?